came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. I swear I meant to do this. I'm told that love would never lie. Where my head has met my heart and they are beautifully aligned. But sometimes it's hard to remember everything I've done that's brought me to this space. I started with embers, now a raging fire is burning in its place. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I'm on my way. What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn.
Yeah, it's like it's just a rash that the itch is like unbelievable, and I'm not sure what to do about it.
Well, like, how long did you have the parrot?
2 years.
Was it more? Okay, so did you feel the need to like why rub parrot feathers on your chest? Like I don't get why that's even necessary.
It was
Like where did that come from? Like was that from like a dark web thing or like from Reddit or?
no, it's like a think of it as like a because like birds don't like to be pet. They're not like cats and dogs, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's like a think of it as like a bonding thing. You know what I mean? It's sort of like that connection bonding kind of experience.
I can see that. Yeah, because we're like because you have the bird and like you can like put it up your shirt where it feels a little warm and then like just rub like.
Yes. You gotta watch the
Yeah,
nipple.
I can see that.
because, yeah.
Oh crap! Yeah, because if the beak hits
I
your
know.
nip,
That's the thing. That's the
yeah, I can see that being.
thing. I have pretty sensitive
God.
nipples too. But
Well,
we're-
I mean, a beak, anybody, you know,
Right.
I can see that.
exactly, and we're live, by the way. So hello everyone, we are here again. Didn't we determine this is our 21st
Oh.
episode? Actually,
Oh yes, this is awesome. Okay, seriously, can legally drink.
Can drink,
That's
yeah,
that's wow. They grow up so fast. It's it's crazy. It's
yeah. And I hope in those 21 episodes that or 20 episodes so far, after today will be 21, that we provided some value to someone because you know, we're here where you ask
And if
questions
not-
and yeah,
at least to ourselves.
right. At least we're
I prefer to.
someone. Okay. So yeah, this is Welcome to Okay Seriously, the place where you ask the questions, we give the answers. Green Pants joining us as always. It's again absolute pleasure and joy to have.
This is the highlight of my week, and
your wisdom,
if
your
you ever,
wisdom is life changing on a weekly basis.
I do know that it's only because I'm the only one that calls you back. Like I know
will-
that,
I will admit
but that's
true.
fine. So, but okay, I know. So 21 times in a row. You keep checking out for other co-hosts. I
There
don't
we
know.
go. No one picked up the phone.
Keep looking.
Hey, you want to click? Okay, and there we go.
All right, so we have questions.
We
What
do. We have 5 questions today submitted by our users, and let's just jump into the first one, and we'll get the show on
All
the
right.
road here. So, first one, Karen from Briny Breezes, Florida. Karen asks, my partner got a lap dance last night at the strip club. I feel weird and gross about it. Apparently, I'm supposed to treat it as one of those boys will be boys situations, and not like laying your hands all over some naked stripper before coming home to me is like not really fucking unappealing and weird. Karen's going live stream of conscience this year, which is fine.
Okay.
Why isn't a thing in our culture this kind of behavior is okay because it's in a strip club? If you would have gotten a lap dance and felt up some girl outside that environment, such as a bar or house party, how is that any different? I absolutely do not understand why I'm apparently in the wrong for being upset about it. Please explain. Karen.
Okay.
Breezes, Florida.
All right. It's a little ironic that your name is Karen. Karen.
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna go there.
I did, and I was because wow, you're like coming out of the gate like Puck on 10, like right out of the gate, like a little Real World season 3 reference for you there for everybody.
That's familiar.
Yeah, from Real World 3 season 4, 1994. That's one where Pedro died of AIDS. It was terrible. But Puck was on there. Never mind.
Is that
but
the one with the situation?
No. That's Jersey Shore.
Oh, I'm
a show much later. This was literally like 30 years ago now. Like 1994 is what this was.
Okay, long time.
That's what I'm saying. Like literally, like he's 55 and lives on a
like the first
farm
reality
now.
show would probably be considered probably the
because there's actually several that kind of come before it. The Real World really popularized it with
it
with
pioneered
people,
the genre,
but the
I think I would say.
but there were ones like I think Our House and other where like in Britain and stuff where they followed a family.
Okay.
Or they had the show of like sevens where they basically they took like 7-year-olds and they kept interviewing them throughout. So they followed them through their entire lives from like 1940s like to all the way until now. So now they're like old and you can look back at these black and white footage and stuff. So there were precursors to it.
When was the Osbournes? They were pretty pioneering as well.
Osbourne's was well after that. I mean,
Well after Real World,
Osbourne's was, but yeah, Osbourne's was like, 99, 2000.
Oh, okay.
Early in, but yeah, no, the original Real World very first season was 1991. I want to say 1992 because this was season 3, which was 1994.
Got it.
So
I do believe that it maybe not the first, but it did popularize and pioneer the genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was kind of
it
like
did.
the one that brought it to me. for good or bad.
Oh, anyway, Karen.
Karen.
Karen. Sorry, I totally forgot about you. Uh, okay. Well, her question was, why is it a thing in our culture? Like, why is it like? Are you actually asking us that? Because like, are you familiar with how humans work, or especially like male humans? Like, okay, when a man loves a woman, like, and they get together, there's people have needs. Okay, Karen, like, if is she familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs in terms of like what the human being needs? Okay,
water, shelter,
okay.
food.
No. This is from an emotional standpoint.
Oh,
so you have so yeah, people have physiological needs, and they that's like eating and air and all that stuff.
Right.
Safety.
Yes.
Esteem, self-actualization, and pornography. Well, they sometimes call the pornography part love and belonging.
Okay, that's
that you require love and belonging, but it's pornography. I mean, at least to me, that love and belonging and pornography might as well, they're synonymous. That is why it's that is why it is a thing in our culture. But I think Karen's kind of I think Karen did not have a conversation with her significant other about what.
Are we getting back to the communication thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because I don't want to say, because she's like, my partner got a lap dance, and it's like, okay, did you have some sort of agreement that you wouldn't do that?
Right.
Or
am I the only one that when she used the word partner, am I the only one that wished it was a girl, and then I see the girl getting a lap dance in the strip club and.
No, I always wish it was a girl. No, that's not my brain doesn't go there as quickly as yours. Absolutely not. But yeah, no. Once you put the idea, okay, you're right. But back to her feeling weird and gross about the lap dance. So she, she's saying like, oh, treat it like a boy should be boys. So it kind of sounds like this was a surprise to her.
Right.
Like her partner came back and he was like on a trip or something and was like, oh yeah, I was at the bachelor party and like, I got a lap dance.
He
what?
reeks of strawberry body spray. Right.
Right. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I got a lap dance, and then the person's like, you got a what? Right. And it's a big problem.
That's not cool. I agree with that.
Right.
It should be discussed before.
But so it's like, why is it a thing in our culture? Because it's fucking awesome, Karen. And why why do they have to be blacked out and be in like industrial parks and stuff? Because of people like you, Karen.
Chased into the shadows.
Yeah, just like exotic dancer is a wonderful profession. I've met some very lovely people.
And they all told you their real names on the.
So, I find Karen. It's because there's a lot here because she's there's a lot of stream of consciousness kind of going on.
Yes, there is.
I'm familiar with that.
Yes, you are.
So she starts from oh, it's weird and gross, and then you can see that she starts getting mad where she's like, oh, it's weird, and then it's it's fucking unappealing, and then why isn't it the same as if like he made out with some girl at a party or something? And it's like, okay, well, first of all, like one is like one's an entertainment business, which I think you can at least maybe kind of separate that from. But I think that her partner needs to leave her and go find that stripper that gave him the lap dance and see if you can make it. See if he can make it.
And go pick up the stripper.
Yeah, because if they're in Briny Breezes, Florida, like Florida, prime strip club, like Florida, Florida, it's like, So there's a lot out there.
Like I think they outnumber the churches in Florida. It's really close.
I would not be surprised. I mean, So she's asking. There's a bunch of this kind of stuff going on, being like, first of all, like, why is it a thing in our culture? So she doesn't seem to want it to exist,
right?
And that's where I take exception because strip clubs are fucking awesome,
right? But her angle is the objectification of exploitation, right? At least I think so. At least that's what I hope it is, and not just an insecurity complex that our guy wants to look at naked women.
Independent contractors. They are independent contractors. Yes, they go to the play. Well, that is how strip clubs work. Like
Yeah,
they
no,
don't
I
pay the
know.
like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of
You get no
uh,
health benefits.
a lot of people
from the strip club.
a lot of people think that like a
So-
strip club goes out and hires
Yeah,
strippers.
there's no
It's like
dent-
no, a strip club is
No dental.
a strip club's
There's no
a
dental plan. No.
well, yeah, no, well, I mean, all it is a strip club is somebody who buys a bar,
Right.
and then so you have your liquor license, and then you get your adult entertainment license, you install some poles, and then you start
Stage.
searching out resumes, and people come and they'd be like, oh yeah, I'll come here, and if you have a good spot and they think they can make money, they will.
And you say, okay, so you pay they normally like they'll pay like, okay, 200 up front, use the be in the club, and then keep whatever you make.
Right, exactly. It's I mean it's pretty, which is why it's like it's very transactional.
Yep.
So
It's a fantasy.
it-
It's a fantasy.
it's so well, I think there is a great deal of like exploitation going on, and I mean
There
in the
is.
world it's tons of it.
And I think
Exotic dancing, I don't find it to be as big a
we would be
problem.
remiss if we didn't mention that a lot of strip clubs have shady side business going on with drugs, prostitution. Happens. I've been exposed to it.
So do a lot of laundromats,
Fair.
but you know, I mean, I guess going from that angle, but that's, I mean, you could find that, yeah. There's a lot of professions where there's cagey stuff
Cagey.
going on the side. I mean, look, half the restaurants and stuff. I mean, it's just it's
Really?
yeah. There's, I mean, a lot of because restaurants is there are a lot of restaurants that remain open and you really can't figure out how they're able to do it.
Yes, 'cause
And the way they're able to do it is, well, no, it's more because they're just a laundry. It's all a laundry outfit. So it's like they don't have to make a profit. They're just there to clean the money. So you basically they post what their you know how to money launder?
I
don't.
Not through a restaurant. I didn't.
Yeah,
know that
you
was
you need a
thing.
business. You need a legitimate
Hey,
business.
That I knew.
And so a restaurant with cash and all that stuff, it's super like
Good
restaurant,
idea.
laundromat, dry cleaner, bodega sometimes used, but like because that's hard with like the inventory. So you want something that's like a service,
Wow.
like a laundromat, because it's hard for them because you don't have widgets. So it's
Right.
like a laundromat. You can be like, oh yeah, or like a dry cleaner. How many clothes?
Providing
Yeah, we
service.
dry clean
People
4 million
come,
shirts.
They clean their clothes and then people leave, and then that's it. You
Yeah.
have no record.
And it's like, wow, you guys make like $1 million every month. Like, yeah, we're a great dry cleaner. So they just
Got
they
it.
disperse it out, and they just have to make it so it's not so much money that it draws the attention.
draws attention.
Of,
Wow. I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So those are just restaurants and stuff that do that too. That they're basically
Pretty
like
cool.
they're held up by the, because the restaurant's always empty, and you're like, why?
Yes. We keep diverging from poor Karen. So Karen. I think what's our takeaways? The one that should have been a conversation that you and your partner had before, assuming
Agreed.
a he went to the strip club.
Right. She does say
Two.
partner, but assume, yeah. Oh
think
yeah,
about-
boys will be boys. You definitely
do,
a he.
do
Yeah.
your self-reflection there. Is it about the degradation of women, or is it about your insecurities and jealousy that he can find another woman attractive? Something you need to grapple with?
It's the second one, Karen.
Second one. All right, Green Pants is
It's
convinced.
the second one.
You're jealous.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And if so, then I
well,
think it's like,
because the email's more of like a rant. It's like, my boyfriend did this. It's so bad. Why does this exist?
That's true.
I'm angry. Men are gross.
That's true.
Why am I supposed to be okay with this?
Fair
And
enough.
it's like,
That's a fair.
okay,
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
It's
I
like-
think you're right.
I,
So it's
I,
insecure. So
I,
I would-
I don't think I don't want to be the only one that needs to justify the adult industry. It is something that has existed
Right.
always and will exist always and forever
Yes.
in every culture, in every society,
everywhere,
in every age,
literally
everywhere.
everywhere. Right.
Everywhere there are humans,
So
it exists.
yes. So our regular viewer Super J is here, and she's saying that she's never been to strip club. Mind blowing to me.
What? No,
You
actually,
need
no,
to
that isn't.
Come visit.
That isn't.
Mrs. Vanguard's
I-
been multiple times. I bring her,
Okay.
and she enjoys herself very much.
Mrs. Greenpants does
Yes.
not. And
For the reasons
would
that
not.
Karen is against such establishments.
No, she doesn't have a problem with other people. It's more of like for her, it's not interesting.
Okay.
It's like, what is that? Like that, yeah. Like it's definitely not a. It would she would not find it like or although burlesque shows she's done that before with like a whole bunch of girls and they go to
Okay.
burlesque thing.
That's
So
along the
yeah,
same lines. It's fun.
yeah,
I tell you, you can
yeah.
go, and Karen, go. I would almost recommend go with him, one of them, right? And have fun as a couple, because a lot of couples do that and they have a blast. You will appreciate a
I don't
minimum.
think Karen's capable of fun.
The you're very anti-Karen. This the athleticism of some of these girls
Sorry, Karen.
when they work the pole. It's like
Work the pole.
really
I see what
impressive.
you did there.
See, work the pole.
I did see what you did there. Yeah,
the
well played.
the pole.
Right, right.
Pole dancing is very
It's
impressive.
not helping. Yep.
No, I know. It's just making it worse. I know.
The gesticulations
Because
are.
I'm
I don't know
doing
if that's-
this.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
doing
I
this.
can-
it's all kinds of emotions. So what do we learn? So Karen, don't be afraid of the strip club. You should have a conversation about it before he does things like that. Ask him if he watches porn. I can almost guarantee the answer is yes. Decide if you have the same hangups about that kind of thing. If it's about the touching, have a conversation about it. Say, why do you want these other women touching you? What do you get out of it? I'll say something along the lines of, it's a fantasy, it's a fun thing, it's an escape, and come try it with me, and da-da-da. Be open to that possibility.
And if Karen's partner is watching, please break up with Karen and like go live your life. Like,
Our final
I doubt-
takeaway is that next
I
time...
think there is a low chance that's happening, but I just want to put that out there
Yeah.
because
Our final...
she's not worth it.
Our final takeaway is that next time Super J is in town, we need to take her to it.
All right, I have
I haven't been in a long time.
I can't. I'm trying to think of it's been.
I think
it's
you and
been
I
a
are the
long,
last
long
time. I think I was with you the last time I went, but yeah, it's a
But it was
long
like-
time.
Yeah, gotta be probably 15 years or something like that. So yeah,
So Karen, this all gets back to communication. So
Yep.
communicate with your partner. Figure out why you like them. Figure out why you don't like them. And be honest with yourself. Karen. Then we can go.
can
from
we
there.
let Karen go?
We
Karen
can.
needs to go.
We've gone about this in a while. I think we diverged
Bye,
like 4
Felicia.
times on like the real world and
Yes,
the various things.
I mean, I think
Okay, Isaac from Rock Springs, Wyoming says, I'm looking for strategies for reconnecting with estranged family members. After years of distance,
oh,
I'm considering reconnecting with family members I haven't spoken to in decades. What strategy should I use in mending such relationships? In decades. Wow, says Isaac.
oh.
Estranged for
Isaac.
decades.
Isaac, the first thing I have to ask is, are you sure? Are you sure that you want to reconnect? Like, some of us spent a whole lot of time, finding
Unconnected.
ways to permanently disconnect from family. So if you've been torching bridges, it is pretty hard to reconstruct them. I think that's probably my bias.
Pretty
So
much.
I would say, I guess the first question would be, what is the reason for the estrangement? If the reason for the estrangement was just there was distance, you kind of just didn't keep in touch, and it's awkward now that all these years have gone by and you haven't had a chance to, you haven't talked to them, and it's okay, how do I talk to them now? It's been all this time. Or like, did you guys have like a drug deal gone wrong? Like in like you want to sweep it on their table, or did you all like
or like, did
you know
your dad sleep with your girlfriend? Or something like that.
right? Like, did you witness a murder? Did you guys all go your separate ways afterward? Like, what was the
Is
circumstances?
it like, I know what you did last summer when you all...
Right, exactly. Like,
Yes.
do all of you hold one piece of a puzzle that if you put it all together, it forms
Like the
some sort of
Necronomicon? We'll do it.
Exactly. Do you have a piece of the Necronomicon? That's a good question.
Right.
Yeah. If so, that's a
You need a chainsaw
that-
fist.
that makes things makes things complicated.
Yes, that's...
But no, I mean, what do you think? I think I think that's like a main thing.
I guess the
of,
reason might be...
why.
But I see decades, right? And it's like, geez, everyone's got to let it the fuck go no matter what it is. You know what I mean? So you wanting to do it makes you the adult in the room, which is a good thing. So I think making the approach and just basically saying, hey, mom, cousin, whoever, brother so-and-so, been a long time since we talked. I kind of miss you and just talking to you. Want to reconnect and maybe get together and have a few drinks and, all the stuff that happened in the past is the past, and I want to move forward. Life is short. Put it that way. and then it's up to them. And that's like ball or court, right?
Yeah. So fuck that.
Oh.
Like, I mean,
that noise.
That's been. I mean, come on. It's been
decades, though, dude. Like, you gotta let shit go up for decades.
So I think what I took exception with was the I'm gonna be the adult in the room.
Yes, the one who makes the motion forward is the adult in the room.
Okay, like these need to be very carefully done, because just because you're reaching out does not necessarily mean that people want to be reached out to.
Right.
So
but they'll tell
you
you
need
that.
to sometimes, and which is why it's good to start slow. Like, I don't know, an email or like
Sure.
a text or something, because a phone call out of the blue,
Fair.
bad.
Fair.
Like, because people don't do that anymore. They're not somewhere
don't
being
really,
like,
right.
yeah, I have an hour. Yeah,
Right.
that's just not
It doesn't
like,
happen.
it's just not.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it does, but
yeah, I do agree that asynchronous communication is the way.
Yeah.
Then they answer at their leisure. They think about it like, oh my god, Isaac just texted me. What do I do with
because
that?
you could find out very quickly then. Because if they're just like, they just ghost you and ignore you, it's like, okay, clearly this person. But if they're like, oh hey, it's like, oh okay.
There
So
you
you don't need to put yourself out there and be like, hey, and have this explanation. Maybe you'll get there. But if you start slowly, you don't have to. Maybe you'll get that. Somewhere down the line, you end up having a dinner with them and say, hey, yeah, wow, it's been so long, and this is why. But
So that's it, Isaac. I think that's a recommendation. I would say asynchronous communication, text or email. Be open, be honest, and probably choose a neutral venue, right? Like, I wouldn't go, like, if it's your parents, be not to the house. You know what I mean? Like, hey, meet you at dinner.
this also doesn't say. It's just like estranged family members, which could be anything from parents,
Right.
like to
Cousin,
cousins or something, where there's not because there's a difference between I haven't talked to my mom in 20 years versus oh, I never connected with my cousins,
Right.
Kind of thing, where it's like there's because if there was a expectation of connection and you purposely broke that, like went away, sometimes that can be problematic. It's like, oh, you're the one that left the family and went
Right.
off to
You're the one that, right.
whatever.
They think you're the bad
It's like-
guy, right? And,
Right, because just because you had to go to war, they're
Got
judging you.
drafted.
It's like, yeah, I know. I mean, deployed. They're just like all pissed off. There he is in the desert again, driving around,
fighting for
Freaking,
freedom.
like shooting in the air.
Yeah, so hopefully that helps, Isaac. Like I said, it's great that you even want to reach out and life's too short to have these grudges, right? It's like, Jesus Christ, And
Yeah,
I get
I mean,
it. If there are legit reasons that still persist, fine, but you'll find that out once you reach out.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I
All right.
hope that helped. Let's move
Okay.
on.
All right.
Third
Question 3.
Oh, I love when they start off this way. Okay, this is weird. I love it when they start off with a
Okay.
this is
Is it
weird.
okay? This is weird. I love that.
Great,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So,
that's the best beginnings ever.
Okay, this is weird. I'm a 30-year-old straight cis dude, and I've never worn wigs, makeup, or feminine clothing in general, but I'm slowly beginning to
Okay.
want to do it. I'm tired of men's
Oh.
clothes, and I would love to try something new. The thing is, my family would probably kill me if they found out I like to do these things. Well, most definitely my parents and my brothers, but probably not my sister. What do I do? Says Noah from American Fork, Utah. American Fork, Utah.
Oh.
Noah wants to experiment with cross-dressing.
Okay, Noah, I will be the first one to tell you to live your truth and go do that. But if you live in fucking American Fork, Utah, you are literally surrounded by Mormons who will. I think the concern for physical reprisal is real.
Yeah.
There is a chance that he would be in danger if he started cross-dressing in a very Mormon community. We've seen Big Love. We watched it on HBO. Mormons can be insane. All right. I
just had to look. I just had to look up where Matthew Shepard got killed. It was Wyoming. I thought it was Utah, but it was Wyoming.
No, but you know what's in American Fork? Ted Bundy's cave. That's where Ted Bundy brought some of his victims. Was American Fork, Utah, of all places. Yeah. So Noah.
I do think you need
Get
to
the
move.
fuck out of American Fork.
do
Like,
think you-
that's the first thing, is just whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Because it,
I mean,
it sounds like whatever you're
go to Salt
into
Lake
here
City.
is not going to be welcome in American Fork, nor anywhere within, because American Fork is literally a suburb of Provo, Utah, which
Oh, is
is
that
like
true?
the Mormonist of the Mormonist.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, because like
Looking it up.
Provo is like 97% more, or some
Oh,
crazy
yeah,
amount.
I see it now.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's got like all these temples around it and stuff. Oh my dear God.
yeah. That's what. As soon as I saw American Fork, it's like, okay, yeah. If this guy's,
Yeah.
I can. Noah, I can. I understand why you are concerned, and that does make sense because, you know,
Bravo, I guess.
those type of, you know,
Brigham
the kind of
Young-
thing that you're
Brigham-
talking about, while perfectly fine. What?
Brigham Young's in Provo. Brigham
Yes,
Young
that's
University.
Brigham Young University. Yes, that's Provo, Utah. I mean, it's the capital of Mormonism,
I get it.
pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean, Salt Lake City's where the the Mormon Tabernacle,
Right.
But
I would say at least you're right, and this is for your own safety, dude. Honestly, like Salt Lake City, probably at least a bare minimum, where
Yeah.
you could probably get away with such.
Yeah,
But Green Panthers right. Live your truth, dude. Like,
yeah, just don't live in an American
maybe
Fork,
not
because
in America Fork, Utah.
yeah, but like, wow. I mean, you could have said so many other places that were not American Fork.
Yeah.
I mean, just the state of Utah alone is just a bummer. But
That's a rough one.
but the fact that you're, I can see that you probably feel a little bit awkward coming right out of the box, being like, I'm a 30-year-old straight cis dude. It's like, okay, you're a straight white guy, we get it, but
Right.
it seems that you are developing a kink for wearing women's clothing.
Right.
Okay, yep, that's the thing. Been around a long, long, long time. So
Right.
go ahead.
Right.
There are
And-
whole communities of that. I mean,
and-
we have the internet. You can go find your people.
Correct. The people are out
Just
there,
not an
exactly.
American Fork. For God's sake, get
Yeah.
out of American Fork.
I gotta think that I gotta agree with that. So, but I do have to say I think you need to like consider your identity a little bit here. Insisting you're cis but wanting to wear clothes. Women's clothes are not compatible terminologies, right?
That is not true.
Kinda.
No, cis. There are plenty of transvestites that are heterosexual men. You could be a transvestite and dress up. That's Eddie Izzard had that whole thing. Being like,
Fair.
he's like, you don't have
Fair.
to. He's like, you don't have to be gay to want to dress in women's
No,
clothing.
not
He's like,
saying
I just like it.
gay. But cis is gender, right? Like cis is your gender definition. Like I am gendered aligned with my biology.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
thinking. I was thinking more of like that it was.
But this is a good question. So like,
Right.
I know some, but not all clearly. But like, is let's see, if can you be a cross dresser and not transsexual? I guess so, right?
Right. I mean, 'cause he's saying he's
transgender.
straight and cis, so he's not gay and he's straight. So,
And he
so what
identifies
I'm
as
saying
male,
is,
but he wants to wear
identifies
women's
as
clothes.
male and he wants to wear women's clothing. Yes, that is absolutely a thing.
Right.
Is not a.
I just
a
don't know if it makes you transgender.
crazy-
I guess is what I'm saying. Because if you wish to dress and identify as a woman, that's technically transgendered.
No, there's a difference between wanting to feeling like you have a that you are a woman and you're trapped in a man's body.
Yes.
Is one
Transgender.
thing.
Right.
But with transvestite, some of it is just because it's like they like the feeling of it, or it makes them
So-
it's a kink. I mean, it's a normal, it's a straight kink
Alright,
that's
that's fine.
huge
Alright,
in
that's
terms
fine.
of stuff. So I don't think like
And-
transgenderism or any of that stuff has to get into it.
That's fine. And we're really just debating terminology, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I was just trying to have Noah consider his gender identity. You know what I mean? If in case it was going to that point.
Oh,
But maybe
okay.
It's not, right? Maybe it's literally just he
Right.
just wants to cross dress.
Right. If you are questioning your gender identity, that's fine too.
Right.
But again, not in American Fork.
Utah. Right.
Totally cool with all of the stuff. Just please get out of American
Gotta
Fork.
move. What was I gonna say? So yeah, so what's the deal? So the family, right? I don't know. Well, again, if the family's there, I could say probably very conservative Mormon, right? Yeah.
Right,
Probably,
and it's
but-
also a lot harder probably to find a community,
right.
you know,
You
as
definitely want
opposed
to find
to
a community for this,
anywhere else.
right? Like bars you could go to, hang out, whatever, right? And Any major city in the country, you're fine, right? It's
Yes,
like,
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
welcomed, open with open arms, right?
You will not. I mean, maybe not everywhere, but certainly, everywhere you need it to, and you can kind of satisfy that need, but
And maybe that's it,
not
right?
in American Fork.
Right. So like he's worried about his family in particular, right? So like I guess I would recommend like first try to be, I'm just gonna label it because it seems like it's what you're describing, cross-dressing, right? So be a cross-dresser in a place where it's welcome and accepted, right? For some amount of time, a few months or whatever like that. See how you feel. Does it scratch that itch? More. Like is it feel more natural to you? And like, yes, this is what I'm enjoying, right? Then consider the family issue, right? Because you want to go down a path if it's not really your path and all that kind of thing. So that's a lot of grief.
I don't think Noah's going to find a community in American Fork in which he can explore
he's
that.
gotta go Salt Lake City.
Right. That's the thing is it's like getting out
Not
of
that
American
far.
Fork. I don't know if I've stressed this. Number one, get out of American Fork.
I just look at the map. It's not that far. Salt Lake City.
No, because Provo. I mean, Utah is mostly empty. I mean, at least as far from like. Salt Lake City and Provo. There's that little.
Not that far. It's
There's
50 50 kilometers.
There's a little bit, and then there's like nothing for a long way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's 50,
I've driven to Salt Lake City, and it's a lot of nothing. It's like Vegas. You go to you cross Vegas, and there's nothing,
nothing, and
so
then,
then
boom, Salt Lake City,
boom.
and boom, nothing. Yeah, I get it. It's like 50 kilometers. Not that far.
Yeah.
Go to the city.
For our American listeners, that's something like 30 some miles or so.
Oh yeah. That's
50 kilometers.
I tried
Yeah.
it.
As the European.
You got to go to Metro. It's just so ridiculous that we use a stupid length of the king's foot or the fuck a foot's built on. It's like so absurd. It's a ridiculous measurement.
It
Don't get me
is.
started. Don't get me
It's,
started
you
on
know.
Fahrenheit. That's absurd too. So yeah. So Noah, hopefully that helps, right? So see if it's your thing first, and then talk to your sister who says would be okay with it, right? And then at some
Right.
point come out to the family about it if you're going to adapt it as part of your identity and your lifestyle, kind of from your, and they're either going to accept you and love you or they're not. And
They're not. You live in American Fork. I don't understand what's unclear about this. There's no gray area. There's no, well, maybe
The
this no, maybe I can
sister-
ease into. No,
the
you are.
sister-
It's not acceptable
his
there.
sister grew up there, and he says she would be accepting of it. So see,
Right.
there's
His
hope.
sister would be like, that thing that you're doing is okay, is far different from, I'm going to incorporate this into my lifestyle and come out to my family. No, you're not. You live in American Fork.
Come out to your
Dude.
sister, eventually,
Leave.
and then
Invite your sister to go come see you. And then have a cross-dressing adventure together. That's
Okay.
great.
Maybe she'll
like-
get dressed up like a dude, and you.
But not necessary, It just
So there you go. So hopefully that helps, Noah. So again,
done all I can.
I
Get out
think
of
the
American
key
Fork,
takeaway-
man.
live your truth. Live your truth.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, here we go. Next one. So this is from. Who is this from? This is from Kalen. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it right. Kalen. I am house sitting, dog sitting for my coworker, and been using her hair dryer while I'm here. So probably Kalen. Yesterday, my hair got sucked into the back of it and ripped a lot of my hair out. That's horrible. Now there's hair in it that I
Okay.
can't get out. Should I just buy her a new hair dryer and tell her what happened?
Yes.
If it doesn't rude that I use it, I didn't see any harm in it until it scalped me. Yes, buy her a new hair dryer and tell her what happened.
Right. Why
I
are
need to
you?
make this
Why
more
are you asking
complicated
us
than
this?
it is?
I am not sure why we're being like. Yeah, this is like at
Versus
this
what?
point, like
What
at
would
this
you
point,
do?
wondering. Yeah, like at this point, wondering if it was rude if you borrowed it. Kind of past that.
Right.
It doesn't matter because
Right.
the hairdryer has essentially been destroyed and taken a sizable portion of your own
Correct.
scalp with it. So
Is it-
yeah, buy a new hairdryer.
Buy a new hair dryer. Because if she was
Give it to her.
there and you said, "Hey, can I borrow your hair dryer?" She'd be like, "Of course." She would lend you a hair
Right.
dryer.
Of course she would. Yeah.
It's a normal thing
So,
normal people would do, right? Yeah, I'm
but
trying
it's
to think
also
whether-
I don't think it would be a big. It's not a like because like what are your other options like
That's what I was gonna
you're
get.
just
at.
gonna
Like, what else?
you're
would you
gonna
have
like
done? Like hide
drop
it?
the hairdryer off a bridge,
Right.
like
Right.
put it in a sack, weight it down with
Yes.
rocks, and no one
Yes.
ever finds it.
Or put it in front of the dog and pretend the dog destroyed it or something. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah,
where'd you
it's
even?
like,
What would you even do?
I mean,
I'm envisioning like this, like Ocean's 11ish elaborate Italian
because
job.
if
scheme.
you're we're house sitting and dog sitting, so the other thing I picked up on though, coworker, like that's a pretty big for a like they that must be a closer relationship than coworker to
That's
have
true.
I mean, dog sitting, house sitting is
If you're
you know.
close enough to someone to be in your home and take care of your dog while you're gone, that's a friend, right?
Yeah, that's
Someone
definitely a
called
friend.
before. I would have addressed them as such, and not a coworker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Maybe if that's the
And if you're staying in her house,
Uh,
there's nothing unreasonable about using her hairdryer and using her other things as you're living in the house.
right,
That's very
and you can
normal.
replace it. It is something that like unless this was some sort of like special hair dryer that
Right.
was the hair dryer that like she electrocuted her first husband in the bathtub with or something. Like I get it,
Sentimental hair
but
dryer.
but if it's just a hair dryer, go to Target, buy one. And then you don't need to you can just throw the old one away. It doesn't matter that there's hair in it. Doesn't matter anything about it. Just throw it
Tell her,
away.
but tell her. Just say,
Pay
hey.
$20. Yeah, you can be like,
Right.
notice I got you a new hair dryer. You're
Right.
welcome. And move on.
To be a dick about it. Yes.
No, just be like, hey, I just want to notice. Did you notice your hair dryer's new? Yeah, I did that.
Right, because I wrecked your old one.
No, you don't need to add that part. You don't
I
have
would.
to.
I would.
There's a difference between lying by omission
Yes,
or just omitting things in general. Not necessarily lying.
sure. I almost got disfigured by a hairdryer once. I don't know if I ever told you this.
What?
I used to have longer hair. I used to have the
Yeah.
tail. otherwise
Yeah,
known as
the mullet.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'd dry the hair, and it was kind of tall top.
Yeah, you had the party in the back.
Right. So, and it was the hair dryer I had since I was like 11 or something. So it was old, and I had it for a decade. And I'm
I
drying
remember
my hair,
my first hair.
and it
No, I never had a hair dryer growing up.
right, and as I was using it, like it's a standard ring, and it got really high pitched, the noise, like and I'm like, what the fuck? So I took it away from my face. I looked at it, and in the back, it glowed. There was this red glow, melted the plastic, and a piece went flying out up in the air. And then it was heading towards me, and I stepped aside and watched it fall on the carpet, and it burned the carpet where it fell. It was a glowing red hot piece of the hairdryer, some kind of spring or something like that.
The
And I was like,
the 80s were a
damn.
different time.
It-
They didn't. We didn't wear seatbelts.
No.
They didn't have
No.
product safety. Nothing
bicycle
was.
helmets weren't a thing.
Yes, nothing was. Underwriters Laboratories. Wouldn't certify anything.
Yes.
yeah.
It
So
doesn't
I
matter.
think Kaylin is perfectly fine to just
Yeah, Kaylin, you're fine. And really, she
Get a
would
new
probably like
hairdryer.
sympathize with it. She's like, "Oh my god, your poor hair. I'm so sorry." You know what I mean? And then you'll have a nice laugh about
Right.
it after, and everything's fine. So
right. Yeah, because of all the things, it's like hair. It's like it wasn't like I destroyed her car, like
Right.
or
Right.
like oh okay.
because I invited over,
And
a
I don't
male-
have a driver's license because I have 3 DUIs. Like, oh, okay, well,
like-
this is not
right.
good.
or like I invited like a male stripper to come, a gigolo to come over and erect her
Right,
couch. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you weren't doing anything
Yes.
nefarious. It's like
right. It's just, yeah. If her house is covered in jizz, that's something that it's hard to come back from.
blacklight.
But-
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 'cause- which is that's a good. No, next time if anyone house sits my house, first thing I got to do is walk around with a black light. That's
Just to check it.
yeah. That was good. See, I
Put,
learned
like a
something
freaking
too.
Jackson Pollock painting in there.
Just spraying everybody. Just
Like an 8
hey,
foot, it's
and
an
look,
8 foot ceiling. Like, how'd you even do that?
Right. It looks like someone had an excellent time. Like there was just a lot of just fun happening.
Oh my
So
god. So Caitlin, thank you. We like these softballs once in a while. So
yeah. This
Thank
one
you
was
for that.
like
That was
I didn't
great.
have to really think about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
very
Love
straightforward.
it.
Honesty, best policy. All right, here we go. Last question. So AJ from Pasadena, California asks, I am about to graduate high school in a month, and I'm about to turn 18 in June. All my life, I've never had a clear idea what I wanted to do until I joined my AV class, where I learned I like working in radio. I love it. But I feel a lot of pressure knowing high school will be over and everyone keeps asking me about college. Don't want college. I just want to live a normal, peaceful life, living with my partner who plans to work in an office. Am I wasting my life, as my dad says, because I don't have a college diploma?
Lord.
AJ.
Yeah, the whole wasting your life thing. I mean, like, college has gone from back in my day, I had a summer job and paid for college, to now it's like the gross domestic product of a small developing
Agreed.
nation.
Agreed.
You know, just to send your kid to college. So the cachet that college had, I think, is less now because it's so outrageously expensive. And while it is necessary for some jobs and profession, it is also not necessary for a lot of other ones. So, the answer is absolutely, you are not wasting your life by not going to college. You also don't have to necessarily go to college immediately after high school. You do not need to make this decision immediately. If you want to get into radio, okay, it's a little bit of a dying industry, but there'll always be radio, especially for like emergency broadcast communications and all that. So if there's a local radio station, be an intern. Go there, talk to them. That's how you get in. You can't go to the jobs like that. Don't really come from, you don't get a degree in radio, really. So, I mean, you can, but
broadcast communications.
Right. I mean, yeah, like but that's not something that you would necessarily need to get a start in radio, especially if
we're here talking to you, and we don't have degrees in broadcast communications.
I mean, you don't. But I
was not aware.
Well, I mean, I could. You don't know.
If I knew you had these qualifications,
you don't know everything.
If I knew you had these qualifications, I might make you the first phone call I make instead of the seventh.
Seventh?
I know.
God.
I'm sorry.
I thought I was like 5. I really had
no.
thought 5 because I knew I was like 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I was a solid 5.
And you know who the other
fuck
6
me.
were too, right? So
I know. Yes.
I know.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, you're right though. Though they would have been better. Sorry you couldn't get them.
That's all right. I'll...
But yeah, college. Just because you don't have a college diploma, not the end of the world.
Yeah, and I'm a huge.
That's a dick.
I'm actually a huge advocate of higher education myself, right? Because I think also it's not just about the knowledge you're getting, but it's your this is the development you get as a person. College environment, I think, is huge, right? And I think makes generally pretty well-rounded humans. But with that said, college is not for everyone, and you shouldn't force yourself to go if it's not your thing, right? And I do think in this country we do neglect trades, right? Like, I think if someone's like, I want to be a plumber, great, you should go to a trade school. You should be subsidized to go to that trade school. Just like this college loans, you should be able to.
And you will make a very good living in that trade. Because, my God, have you ever called a plumber?
Right.
Like, I mean,
and then get some business acumen.
Have you ever needed an electrician? Because wow, just getting them to come to your house, it's a lot easier to find an ER doctor, than it is to find an electrician.
I do my own electrical.
Or a locksmith.
I can't justify paying those guys.
Right, but that's not an option for a lot of people.
No, I know for sure.
Some people, after you get electrocuted 1, 2, maybe 3 times, you stop.
You start picking up the phone.
I don't like turning off the fuses because it's a waste. I go down there. I'd rather just use the live socket and wire it up that way and take my chances because I don't have time for fuses.
That's a choice. First of all,
get off
fuses,
my back about
was your
it.
house made in 1807? Fuses.
Breakers. Switches.
Yes.
Breakers.
Click. And then you go.
Yes. Okay. It's not a physical fuse. It's I believe at this point it's a colloquialism and maybe it's a little anachronistic, but fuse box. Do you call it the breaker box?
Breaker box. Yeah, I call it the breaker box.
That sounds dumb.
That's fine.
That's wrong.
That's wrong. Anyway, AJ, pursue your dreams. Don't go to college if you don't want to go to college. It's not going to help you. Give it some time, right? And like Green Pants said, I think that was spot on. Try an internship, right? A local station. Start learning your way. You might do it the first 6 months of the internship. You might find out you might hate it, and you're like, Dad, you were right. I really need to go to college, and then do that. And then keep your mind on, because like I said, there are colleges that will, you can get a communications degree.
Right, like a community college is a excellent jumping off point too, because it's actually affordable within reason, especially and there's a lot of diversity and a lot of different, it's all over the place, as opposed to the major universities which have all just 100%. Increased their tuition by 600%.
Absurd. 100%.
So, and you can always, because your options are really, you can always, try out the radio thing now in a year or two, try out community college, and if you like that, you can switch into the 4-year university, do your last year, and get a degree from that university.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the way to go.
You could even if you want to hedge your bets, you can even start taking community college classes part time while you do your internship.
But again, it seems that AJ's not really into the whole college thing. So
That's true.
if so for right now, if it's not your jam, that's cool.
Don't do it.
You can have I can't guarantee you'll have a peaceful life. You live in Pasadena, California. I mean, that's, you're in the right place. I mean,
Yeah.
Pasadena, as far as like, having communications and any sort of broadcast and all that thing, I think you're definitely
100%.
in a good place
I
for it.
want to pick on one normal thing. He says, I want to live a normal, peaceful life living with my partner who plans on working in an office. AJ's 18, and he wants to move in with his partner. What do we think about that? This isn't the advice you asked for, AJ, but we're going to give it to you anyway.
Well, because the sense that I'm getting is that if AJ is 18, and that basically it sounds like his dad is like, you're going to college or you're wasting your life. So if AJ is not going to go to college, it does not seem like the type of situation where AJ would be able to necessarily stay at home. So
Oh, you think
moving
his dad would
out,
kick him out?
yes. Like if you don't, like I absolutely
to
know
pay
people
rent.
in that situation
Ask him to
that
pay
if they,
rent.
right, oh exactly, sometimes yeah, at a minimum, or just like nope, then fine, you go off into the world and figure it out,
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, I could
But
totally,
living with his partner, 18.
I mean, moving in with your girlfriend, versus moving in with a roommate. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, moving in with your romantic partner, age 18, with the idea they're gonna have a peaceful life together. Kind of getting a little ahead of the game there, right? You're 18. Don't be
I guess, but what are his other
sizing
options at
any
this point?
rings. I'm just.
I mean, I guess because maybe like because it could be from an economical standpoint. Like he
Maybe.
needs,
concerned he's really getting to this relationship. Really having that life
Well,
experience.
if I know AJ and I know AJ, he's a confident, well reasoned young man. He
Yeah.
had,
He knows what
when
he
he has
wants
a
in life.
problem. Well, when he has a problem, he writes to professionals who can actually address his problem head on, and not in any sort of a random fashion.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get real clear cut instructions. So I think AJ. I think yeah. You know what? If he wants to move in with his partner, fine. You know what? If it doesn't work out, they break up and they each get their own apartment.
I guess that's
Or whatever.
Assuming AJ can finally get a job.
I mean, because I would say the moving in together, yeah, if they each lived separate lives and it was like, are we ready to move in together? Totally separate question. But at this point, AJ's like, I'm graduating high school. My dad wants me to go to college. I don't. I want to move with my partner. I don't think that's changing.
Yeah,
Like,
it
that's
seems like
happening regardless of whether he goes to college or
that's
not.
fair. The path is clear. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Just be
So,
careful, AJ.
I think
Worried
just
about
can you get off AJ's back? AJ will be fine.
Okay.
AJ,
Pursue your dreams. You can achieve your goals.
yeah, I mean, wear a condom. Just
Please
know.
wear the condom.
yeah, don't just because what will definitely throw a giant monkey wrench in this situation would be a child.
Huge.
Yeah, see, right now you don't
Extremely
have that.
disruptive.
Wow, like that is a gift. You have the gift of not having to give a shit about another human being and caring for them. So go be with your partner, whatever. Get the job in radio. If it doesn't work out,
Buzzkill having children.
well, no, well, that's the problem. The making them is
Well, that's the
great.
fun part. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
having that, and then
That's-
because it's like, because I mean, you think about it, like sex is great, but have you ever watched your kids go away on a school bus? Like that feeling
And
is
rejoice.
so is yeah. Seeing that
Okay.
school bus being like, oh my god, it's like 7 hours. I'm like, yeah,
Oh my
bye."
god. They can
Yeah,
pee in
it is.
private. It's
Yeah. Do you have issues peeing in private? I mean,
No, I know.
I have children. I do not have any peeing. I mean, maybe if for infants or something like they cannot be left alone for an instant.
Right, exactly.
But
exactly, like an instance, right? It's like, oh my god.
um,
All right, well there we go. So AJ, again, follow your dreams and good luck. You're doing the right thing. Cool.
yeah, I think AJ's all. Yeah, he'll be fine. He's in Pasadena too. He doesn't have to move. He's not an American fork. If AJ was an American fork, his options would be far limited. First of all, he would have to go into Mormon radio, which
Right.
you know, that's yeah. Let's
right.
yeah.
Hey.
I think AJ will be good.
Yeah. Hey, dude, it's time for speed round.
Oh, okay, wait. Then I think it's my turn then.
It is.
Is
You're
if
up.
you-
You're up for speed round.
Yes.
I did it
Okay.
last time.
All right.
A couple unfair
All right.
questions, if I recall, last time. So for those of you not familiar, we're gonna put 1 minute.
Unfair?
Yeah, there's a couple weird ones. We're gonna put 1 minute on the clock for Green Pants. He's gonna have 5 rapid fire questions to answer within that time, and then and that's it. And then we'll do a little unpack at the end. The timer will
Okay.
start after I finish reading the first question. Green Pants, are you ready?
Yes.
Boom. Here we go.
Read the question.
All right. What state or country do you never want to go back to?
Legally or never want to?
Never want to.
Okay, the legal question is complicated, but want to? France. Fuck those snail-eating, beret-wearing
What would your
motherfuckers.
first question be after waking up from being cryogenically frozen for 100 years?
Oh, please give me a detailed list of all of the advances in pornography that have happened during the last century, because I would like to find out, because it has to be great. 100 years, it's going to be fantastic.
Oh my god.
And also, like, is there a bathroom? You know, probably.
Right,
yeah.
you're probably to pee. Can you fold a fitted sheet?
No, I'm not a fucking wizard.
Incorrect. What is one job you would be absolutely terrible at?
Apparently folding fitted sheets.
Correct. On an average day, how many pigeons do you think you could reasonably carry?
Ooh, okay, a pigeon is about 9 ounces. It's like a pound, but reasonably carry. Okay, so again, a bag, 60.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 60.
All right, we'll go with that.
Reasonably, yeah, yeah. It's the reasonably that's throwing me off.
That's a
Because it's
lot.
like could carry, but reasonably is like if they're just on your arms, or are you just like holding them in your
Okay,
hands?
Well,
like,
that's the thing. I was assuming you didn't have a conveyance.
well, it was your question, so
It was. I should've clarified that.
I did not assume that I had that conveyance. So
If you
I
didn't have a conveyance. Probably 2, right? I mean, you can't tuck a pigeon under your arm without crushing it, can you?
That's the other part. Is the pigeon
Or wrapping it
willing?
in a shirt.
Is the pigeon
I don't think any pigeon
like
wants to be held, right?
if this is
domesticated.
well, there are very few realistic situations where you're required to be carrying pigeons either. So the question is, not really that realistic. But if it was, and the pigeons, let's say they were into it, the pigeons could ostensibly you could wear them on your arms like this. You could have a whole row of pigeons like up on the head,
They
like,
perch
all the
on
way
you,
through.
right?
And if they were like trained pigeons or pigeons that were like, I want to be carried, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. More domestic.
Carrier pigeons.
Yeah, but you
Pigeons-
were definitely approaching it from the weight of pigeon perspective, how much you could lift, right?
Well, I was approaching it first at weight to say if that weight was going to be an issue, and it was no, because if a pigeon's 9 ounces, then no, weight's not going to be an issue because, unless once you start getting up to 40, 50 pigeons, that's, so yeah, so then I think it's more of a surface area question
Understood.
or a conveyance question.
Right. All right, let's talk about the fitted sheet.
Fitted sheets
You take
are made in a factory, and they're made in a factory,
and they come in a
and
bag
they're packaged.
folded.
Come in a bag folded by a machine that goes into a quantum realm and performs magic. And then it goes into the Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever and does not exist, I don't think, anymore. And then you unfold it, and then that's it. And now
Okay.
it never needs to be folded again because, once you have it and then, throw it away.
You put your you invert one of the corners and you put your hands on the corners and you nest the corners.
You lost me.
All right, that's okay. There's a way. Super Day says, "Oh, or our good friend M Lamb, who you're familiar with, knows this process and she can show you."
Okay.
So.
I
mean, alternative is you can just roll
I'm
it
not
up in
sure.
a ball. It's another thing.
I can. Well, yeah. I mean, well, because fold. I mean, yeah. You just. But can you fold it nicely with like hospital corners and
Mine
stuff?
are folded pretty good.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
I'm particular.
Mine are on the bed, and that's pretty much it. It's not. I don't think I.
You have one set of sheets only.
Nope. Yep. They're in a ball. They're
Right.
absolutely in a
That's what
ball
I
at the
figured.
top of a. Yes, they're at the because I'm trying to think about where the extra sheets are, and it's like for the fitted one. Yeah, that's. I don't even know where they are.
And then your first question after waking up from 100 years would be about porn. You said not about porn,
Well,
but about the sex industry. I think that the
It would be the technological. Well, because
I mean,
that's
there
something
would
you got to
probably
get
be
on
a-
right away.
right, but there would most likely be like a robot that would be a fully functional female that would do anything you want, right? Probably 100 years.
Sure. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have a lot of questions. I mean, first of all, if you're cryogenically frozen, and that means we've made it 100 years without becoming Fallout, or maybe
Right.
you wake up in Fallout and you're just
You
like,
wake up
oh
in Fallout,
god,
you're in the vault.
I'm a ghoul.
I'm out. I'm no nose. Why am I a ghoul?
I
I
can.
hate being a ghoul.
Yeah, being a ghoul is just it blows it.
Why am I a
Be around. Got to give yourself injections to live 100 years and just
Right.
suck. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think yeah, probably yeah, because the first thing you would probably do is piss yourself. So you'd want to have that bathroom, I think. And can I have some pants?
Probably. Right, because of course you're
May I have
frozen
some
naked.
pants, please?
Does our society still have pants? And if so, may I have some?
So
Yeah.
it could be like, I was frozen. First thing comes, look, there's shrinkage. I mean, cryogenics. Come on.
Yes. For sure. I'd probably ask for the bathroom. That'd probably be my first. I think you're right. You'd have to pee super bad.
Yeah. And that was actually the joke in Austin Powers that started
Yeah,
when
I remember
he
that.
gets wake up crunchy frozen, he peed and
I remember that so much.
stopped
Can you?
and then kept peeing.
Here's something I want. I've had some epic pees in my day, like that surprised me. Like keeps going. I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of pee.
Hmm?
Do you think is it possible to pee enough in a toilet where it flushes itself? Because it's a 1.6 gallon per flush, right? So basically, you pour 1.6 gallons into the bowl, it should self-flush your toilet, right? Flush.
Theoretically, no, because I do not. Because no one has a bladder that large.
That's what I was thinking. I'm looking for
Like unless are we including livestock or jungle animals? Like, because that's just not something that.
I just looked up
Interesting question though. I mean,
I looked up
Go
the
ahead.
world record. The longest pee duration 508 seconds, 8.5 minutes. That's damn impressive.
that was probably done using like just amazing dick control, where
Oh, like
The-
managing the
like
stream is what you're saying.
managing the stream and the like exact, because that you'd have to do it like to be like, okay, I'm not just going. Yeah, you'd have to. That would have to be something that technically counted as peeing
Right.
per whatever the world record thing is. Imagine that guy, the Guinness guy, who's like, seriously, okay, all right, let me get the stopwatch out. Like,
Yeah, I did look up also really quickly. The average human bladder is less than half a gallon, right? It's 0.4 gallon about. So like being
Yeah.
able to do a gallon and a half, that's an impressive.
yeah, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, it just sounds painful.
It would.
I don't ever want to have a gallon of extra water that my body is trying to be in. Like, my kidneys are like, what the fuck are you doing? Because
Still going, and you're waiting.
it's a fire hose. Okay, I'd say. I mean, it's got that slit to give it the spin, but you can
Oh
only
my
put so
God.
much pressure on there before
That's right.
you get a backdraft and you might blow out your O-ring. So it can.
No ring.
I mean, There's all sorts of things that might happen if someone you know um peed a little bit too aggressively. We'll say.
Understood.
I can just see. I can see that going badly.
Understood. Understood. Yeah. Cool. And then, what was the state or country you would never go back to? Oh, France.
France.
The French hate us. The French are
They
one of the
do.
few people that if you try to speak their language, they're insulted because you did it wrong.
That is true.
It's
I mean,
special amongst countries.
me personally with France is not because it's like I've been to France. I have been there enough times that I'm all set. The I enjoyed seeing some of the things. I did not enjoy the French people as much.
Nor did they enjoy you.
No, we had a French satellite office, and that was not fun. But yeah, that said, from a legal speaking, like not North Korea, never doing that again.
Fair. How'd you
But
get out?
I can talk about it. I mean, that's the whole.
Part of the agreement.
I shouldn't even be doing this. I mean,
For me, it's
but
Kentucky.
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 So it's a state.
Yeah.
Okay. What state or country? Why Kentucky? What happened in Kentucky?
Horrible, like
Show me on the doll where Kentucky hurts
the
you.
people there like have horrible ideas about how they think the world works.
My brother-in-law's from Kentucky.
Oh, really? I guess I
And
want to say
you're spot on.
I guess I want to say completely incompatible politics. Maybe if I put it that way.
Right. Well, any state that a majority can elect Mitch McConnell to represent them.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of
This turtleness.
a lot of smooth heads, we'll call them. Not no wrinkles to the brain that you need for the higher functions.
Right.
Just perfectly smooth.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, Kentucky. My experience is that the further south you go, the worse it gets. So, whereas Kentucky and Tennessee, West Virginia is its own thing. Don't
Right.
go there. Just there should be a fence around.
I've been to West Virginia.
But-
there are actually good strip clubs in West Virginia.
Right, because everybody's husband's dying of mesothelioma from the coal mines, and so their side hustle is to
Fair.
work at the exotic club. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
yeah, that's the but
So France, right?
yeah, so for me it's France, but yeah, state. I mean, yeah, I would if I could never go back to Florida, I would never go back to Florida.
Right.
But I know I'll eventually have to go back to Florida. But
Right.
and
pretty
Florida tries to do things like have Disney World and stuff. Not worth it because you're still having.
I think more like Disney World has Florida. Florida has Disney World. You know what I mean?
Right. I think we all learned that from Ron DeSantis trying to
Yes.
fuck with
Right.
Disney and all that.
And
I
like,
mean,
hey, they employ 10% of your.
I think they kind of
like,
Right,
literally.
right.
A bite in the hand that
Or
feeds
like-
you. It's like Jesus.
feel I've been to Alabama.
Yeah.
There's no reason
I've
I need
never
to go
been.
back to Alabama.
I've never been to
Yeah. So Alabama. it's you have missed nothing.
Yeah.
And
I would believe
I
that.
can say the same about Mississippi. I was born in
I was about
Louisiana.
to say Mississippi. Same thing.
Yeah. Louisiana has culture. So Louisiana is actually cool to kind of, because New Orleans and that kind of area,
For sure.
but a lot of Louisiana,
The beads.
yeah,
with
not
the
great.
dirt and
Yeah. Beads in the Mardi Gras. I think you're looking for
that's.
Mardi
I
Gras.
never went.
That
I
Tuesday.
think you invited me once to Mardi Gras. And I didn't go, and I should
I
have.
did.
I regret that. I regret I didn't go.
Yes.
There in
Yes.
when you were staying in Amsterdam, I should have went. Damn it!
Many missed opportunities.
Many missed out. We got to recreate these opportunities.
Yeah,
probably,
but
probably not
no arrest record. So you know
No
what?
arrest.
You're doing good.
So there's
You're
that.
not. You're not on anybody's list
I
as
didn't
far
get
as
trucked away by a
right?
police van.
Yeah, have you ever been? Have you ever had to forcefully ask am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Right.
No.
As you try to
When
walk
that
away,
happens,
am I being detained?
Yes, I just. It's like I'm just trying to get out of the children's museum. Am
I being detained?
ridiculous.
I'll have to contact my counsel. Am I being detained? Very good. Cool. Well, hey, I think we did a good job today. Oh, we did a quick viewer question that actually I have
Oh,
a
okay.
relatively strong opinion on. This is our friend Robert. He's asking about
Yes.
I'll summarize it, but basically like video games. Basically,
Yep.
they're trying to morph the industry. So it used to be you would buy a video game from the shelf, like you go to GameStop or whatever, and you have
Yep.
the disc, the
Right.
DVD,
Yeah, physical
whatever.
media versus
And then-
Steam or whatever you're getting it now,
Right.
downloads
And
and
then
stuff.
and
Yeah.
then it migrated into, okay, well, you got to download it now, right? We're not doing media anymore. Fine. And then for some games they started to push the envelope, and it was, okay, you can download it, but now pay us a subscription to pay it. So whether you
Right.
play the game or not in a particular month, you're still paying $12 or whatever the hell the subscription is, right? Now,
And is that because of the online? Is that the online multiplayer part of it?
mostly for the online multiplayer games they make.
Yeah, 'cause it would have to be,
Costs,
I
'cause
would
they're
guess, I
maintaining
mean-
the servers that you're connected.
Right.
But
But they're doing that
constantly.
always because you're streaming it. If you never have the physical media on your
Right.
device.
So,
Well, no, if you're downloading all the content, yeah. So
Right. So the latest is that they're pulling support for games, and you can't play them anymore. So sometimes because like pirating and copying, illegal copying and stuff, like when you load the game up, it has to authorize to their servers and stuff. Like, oh, this is a legit
oh,
copy.
okay.
Even if you're not gonna
Yeah.
play online, even if you're gonna play just on your local hardware, like your Xbox or your PC or whatever. So now what they're doing is some companies are pulling support for games, and they bring the license server down that you can no longer play and authenticate it, but you paid for that copy downloaded. So you paid for it,
What
and they took away the ability
What?
for you to play it.
that should not that 'cause
Horrible.
Well, that's also like you've. I mean, I while I can see what they're trying to do, I would think that is a relative. I mean, maybe it sounds like an easy lawsuit, but
Sounds
maybe
like
it's
a class
not.
action suit waiting to happen, right? I mean,
Well,
seriously.
well, I mean, because if you went into it purchasing something that you're supposed to have,
Yes.
I am buying the sole license to this product, so for me to be able to use it in perpetuity,
Yes.
and the company decides no. I mean, it's one thing if they go bankrupt or something, and then like there just are no more servers to authenticate. Like that could always be a problem too.
Right.
But in terms of like changing the rules on you and being like you can't
Well,
play your shit anymore, that's basically like holding you hostage. Like that's ridiculous.
Right, but I'm pretty
Extortion.
sure. I'm pretty sure if you actually read to the fine details of the 30-page EULA that you clicked yes I accept on before you downloaded the game, there's probably a clause in there that says we reserve the right to pull support anytime. You know what I mean? So that's probably their
It's like,
defense.
and but
is that really
pulling
enforceable?
support, like
I
what
would
is
say
what is
no.
support? What is a game support? Like
Like keeping
like
like
tech
this
support?
license, like it's keeping this license server running so that you can authenticate your copy and play. You know what I mean?
right,
pull the
because
plug
that's
on
on
it.
them. That because they were making it easier for them. Because like
Right.
that way now they don't have to produce media. They don't have to put stuff in stores. There's no
Correct.
distribution. It's like
Correct.
they're saving lots of money. So
And they're using
having
that
the
to leverage
servers-
over you.
right,
that
exactly.
You paid for exactly. So I think the legal system is going to catch. This is kind of a new thing they're pulling, new-ish. So I think eventually the legal system is going to catch up to it. There's going to be a huge class action lawsuit, and there's going to be a law passed saying this is illegal. Someone buys something, they own it. You need to make it available. Your EULA is
Right.
not enforceable. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? That's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think because the way the video game lobbies and stuff work, I don't think this is like a winner for them in terms of even from like either political persuasion, because
Right.
this is just something
Right.
that like because it's like no, I mean because it seems rather well, yeah. See, the problem is all you would have to do is say have Trump or some other idiot say don't do it or do it, and then
then
it
that'll
becomes
happen.
a whole thing. And then
Exactly
there
that'll
it does. It's like why did this?
Yes.
I mean,
So I think the legal system
well, I mean,
will catch
look,
up to this.
look how they did with TikTok. Like TikTok is like that's passed. Like that's gonna become law. Like TikTok's gonna go
Well, it's
away
gonna get
unless
challenged, right? And if it's proven
it will.
unconstitutional.
Right. It will probably take. It will probably get to the legal system in years. But that did pass through. Although they snuck it in on a.
And what does that mean?
So-
But there's a case for that's very interesting because you had a lot of economic conservatives behind that plan, right? And it's like I thought you guys were all about free markets. What happened to that, right? It's like,
Oh, they're not. That's
It's-
not. I mean, that's
they're
all.
not.
That's
I know,
all.
it's all
Yeah,
secondary.
yeah. I mean, none of that's. It's all theater. I mean, none of that. It's real or like none of them even. I don't think most of them hold those opinions. It's all theater and nonsense. I mean,
It is.
especially on that side, it's like at this point, it's just a clown show. I mean, you have a group of people who are like, okay, we have some differences and let's govern, and
Right.
and they're from a wide coalition of people,
Yes.
and that's all the Democrats. And then you have this lunatic group of
burn it all down. And
yeah, that
the
that are
system
basically
and-
saying, please vote for anarchy, which is interesting.
because that'll somehow
or
make
vote
your
for
life,
totalitarianism.
because that'll somehow make your life better than what it is now. Somehow,
Right.
Right. Like,
Right.
okay. Shows history never. Like,
Right,
Anyway.
exactly.
so that's our general just on that one, Robert. So it is. It's absolute
Yeah.
bullshit. Cutting off access to something you paid for. Paid for it, you should own it. I think it's going to take a little bit for the legal system to finally figure out what the hell these guys are doing and nail them to the wall. you
Oh,
know?
so was Robert's question like, do you think this is sustainable, or is this
Right.
going to keep on?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Should they be allowed to
'cause
take away
I
private
think
money for it?
well, I think it's something that they could try for a while, and maybe they can sneak that in. But especially with the online community, I mean, I think it would just get torn apart. Like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I just think it would be unacceptable to the gaming community if it was like widely spread. That was like,
Right.
guys, you know what I mean? And then like, their gaming community is their audience. So
Right.
if you piss them off too much, it's like, yeah, then fine, we
Right.
don't buy games from that studio
And there's-
anymore. Like there are
especially-
other ones.
And it's
you
not
know?
hard. It's not hard. I'm in this business, the software business, right? And it's not hard. Like if your software requires some kind of authentication or anything, or something talking to a server to run, and then you say we got to pull support, we can't afford to run. Fine, you could issue a patch that no longer requires that authentication. You basically said, okay, our
Right.
game's now available, right? That you paid for, you have it forever, done.
Right.
No reason not to be able
Right.
to do that. So bullshit.
But now I want to see you go in front of Congress and explain that to the
I
80-year-old
can't even-
guy,
I know.
explaining, being like, okay, it's a server, so is it the cloud?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
I'm
waiting for like
fucked.
more hearings on AI and how the fuck they can't figure out what the hell people are trying to explain to them. It's like
So do the robots have human skin, or is it all skeleton? Oh my
like
god.
a brain.
Is it like a?
Is my Roomba feel pain? Like
They don't care about that.
right.
You're looking for empathy.
Which you're not gonna get. in
It's,
Congress.
it's crazy. Okay. We can't get them to ban assault weapons. Like
Legitimately kill people. Yeah.
the bare minimum.
Yeah, I get you.
Cannot get it.
Oh my god. Dude, we covered it today. It was like we talked about all the things. We talked about the state of pornography in a century. We talked about lap dances. We talked about
Ted Bundy's cake.
Yes.
How bad American Fork is. I hope if no one takes anything
Cross-dressing
away, there's-
American Fork,
American
Utah.
Fork.
Don't be a cross-dresser in American Fork, Utah is a takeaway.
just don't be an American Fork,
today.
Utah.
If you're a Mormon,
Just-
I think you're
that's it.
okay, right? Like,
Don't be Mormon. What is wrong with you? What are you talking about? No, that's not okay. It's insane.
I actually
They
believe that.
they came over in wooden submarines and
I
found
know.
golden plates
The
in them. What are you
Jews- the
talking
Jews
about? It's
came over
complete
when-
lunacy.
When did they think the Jews came over from Egypt in wooden submarines? And what year?
In wooden
It was like
submarines.
1,000 years before Columbus came, or something like
Something
that.
like
It was,
that. Yeah.
something
I mean,
absurd.
the Book of Mormon is a wild science
It's
fiction book.
legitimately that.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's just below the Scientology book. Scientology.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Although there's a
Yeah.
pretty big gap. Like, you know.
Well, because you don't have
Scientology,
Xenu
the
and
Xenu and the
literally
volcanoes
dropping
and the spirits.
dropping volcanoes. Yeah. So
Right.
that's
Right.
because with the aliens and
Yeah.
stuff. But this is all terrestrial magic.
Right.
It's all stuff that just like happened
Right.
within the confines of the earth, as opposed to
Aliens,
involving
space aliens.
cosmic. Extending it out to a universal level of the galaxy versus
And I guess some people just need to believe in something, right? It's like, well, how can that shit get popular?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, try explaining any major religion to a child who is
I know.
10
Yeah, you've told me about that.
and try not to sound insane.
And they tilt their head and they're like, that doesn't make any sense. And
That
you're like,
doesn't make any
correct.
sense.
Correct, it does not.
Right. But like, just try explain any of it because it doesn't work.
Anyway, all right, we're going to sign off. But we're going to be here again next week, I think.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
At
Yes.
9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time.
Eastern time. Yes, I'm
You-
still in Eastern time.
You
Yeah.
will be here. Because I think after tonight, I think you bumped up on my phone call list.
You call me. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Right, and I will eventually call you.
I
The-
7th?
Yeah,
Like,
work it-
WTF?
I know.
I mean, all right. I mean,
Hey,
we'll see.
There's more after.
All right,
this, so-
everybody. If I'm back here next week, great.
Yeah.
If not, apparently one of the other 6 got it. So
I think that's
you
the
know,
way to look.
I'll see
at
you when
it.
I see you.
I think that's the way to look at it. It's a good thing. So we'll see everybody next week. So thank you for coming by, and we hope we
You will.
provide some wisdom and knowledge. And again, we're here to help.
Always here to help.
Have a good one. Good night.